Let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, as most of you know that subscribe to my channel, that watch my videos, that I had a S23 Ultra a little over a month back that was giving me some issues, like serious performance issues. So I had to send that back, but I did replace it with this device. And so far I've had no performance issues whatsoever. And I just want to talk about quickly, this is a top tier quality flagship device. No doubt about it. Now I know some of you can't afford, to upgrade to this device. Some of you don't even want to because you don't want to lose expandable storage, which of course is something you would lose with this if you're upgrading, say, from a Note 20 Ultra or a Note 10 Plus or S20 Ultra. You would definitely be losing the SD card support. And I know that's something that's important to a lot of people. And I still think Samsung should bring that back. I think it's ridiculous that they took that off. And of course, they took it away because they want to force you to spend more money to buy a larger variant, which I think is completely wrong and unfair to the consumer. That's people that supports them and give them, helps them become. Now they're the number one selling of smartphones, I think, worldwide right now. How long they're gonna stay that way, I don't know, but I don't really care, honestly. So, but still, that's something they shouldn't have removed. Also, with this device, you're gonna get excellent build quality. Build quality with this, it feels really good without a case. But for me, because I can have butterfingers, I'll end up dropping it. So I keep cases on all my phones, and it's just easier just when I pick it up to navigate it, and it gives me that extra grip that I need. So I love using cases, and they also make the phone feel a little bit bigger. And I prefer big giant phones. Like pretty much all my phones are really big. So I like big phones, and cases even make the phone feel and look a little larger, which I don't mind. Always on display. Actually, I like it a little better now that I was watching a video about tips and tricks of the S23 Ultra and how you can add widgets to the always on display. And I added one with the weather, and I added one with, say if I had an event, it'll remind me, it'll be up here on the always on display. Of course, you get your notifications and your fingerprint sensor and your battery percentage. But I still don't like the fact that how teeny and small these notifications are, and how small they are. I don't like that. I wish Samsung would go back to the way that the always on display used to look, say on here. See how much brighter it is, how bigger it is, and you could all the icons, are colored and they're bigger. Like, I don't know why they did this. This is stupid. I like the widgets, but I don't like, the notifications. I hate that they took that they're colored, them being colored away. I don't like that at all. Now, when it comes to the display, now let me yeah, I think I turned this one down. I think turn it down a little more. I like my displays 100% brightness, and not only that, I have this thing on extra brightness. So of course it's probably going to kill my battery a little bit more, which is fine. It gets me through a full day. See where it says the extra brightness, increase the maximum brightness to use more battery. I got that turned on. I just want my phone as bright as possible. I just enjoy it better, especially when it has a quad HD dynamic AMOLED display like this has. You want it as bright as possible. I mean, enjoy your phone. I mean, now I'm not saying everybody has to have it that bright. Of course you don't. But that's just me. I guess me and Flossie Carter are probably two of the most rare people that like, their phones, 100% brightness. That's just me though, and him. So, but that's the way I like it. Now, performance with this phone has been so much better than I had with the previous device. I've had no performance issues whatsoever. Everything is nice and smooth. Everything is fast. No issues whatsoever when it comes to performance. And the dual stereo speakers on here are really good. You get really balanced sound, the highs, the mids, the lows. Now, with the OnePlus 12, the sound on here sounds more, has a more stereo fullness type of sound. but these sound a little bit more balanced. It's just hard. They both sound different. They really do. This has a more balanced, clearer sound or clean sound, and the One Plus has a more fullness, a more stereotype sound to it. Both are great, but these speakers are awesome. I do love them, real good. When it comes to the battery life, I can get through a full day, but that's about it. I can't get it to the next day. And I guess because I'm using an always on display, at its brightest, I'm using these widgets. So I'm sure that's adding to the battery drainage. I'm using 100% brightness. I'm using extra brightness. I'm using a quad HD. I'm using 120 hertz. I'm using this thing in full effect. So my battery life is going to be different than yours. Now, this doesn't mean this has bad battery life, because it does not have bad battery life. You may get a day and a half or 2 days out of it if you're, say, you got your you got your brightness at 50% or 40%, and you're not using the extra brightness. Maybe you're not using the always on display. You're going to get way better battery life than me. But because of the way I use my phone, I'm good for a day. That's about it. At the end of the day, I'm looking at about, if I'm using it heavy, I say moderate to heavy, I'm getting about, I say I come home with about 44, 43%, which is not bad. That's not bad, honestly. But if I continue to use it after I get home, by the time I'm getting ready to go to bed, I'm at 15 or 10%. Now with my One Plus, if I use it the same way I'm using this, at the end of the day, I got like 75% battery left after like a 17-hour day. 75%. So that battery is just crazy good. But like I said, the battery life on here is not bad at all. It's good. But like I said, I go crazy on this phone when it comes to the brightness of the display. All right. The cameras. The cameras. Look, I just did a video, I think yesterday, showing video and photo footage of the cameras, this phone. The cameras on this phone are great. They really are. Okay. Night photos are not as good as some, like my X Note. Not as good, but they still good. Don't get me wrong. They're not bad. But just point and shoot daytime photos, these cameras are the real deal. They're excellent. They really are. When you zoom in even up to 30 times, you don't lose no detail. You don't lose any clarity. These cameras are the real deal. So if you're thinking about considering upgrading to this, you will not be disappointed with these cameras. I don't think so. Unless you are heavily into the cameras, then you may feel like the Pixel 8 Pro was better, or maybe an iPhone. Everybody sees things differently. Like, even though I, made that video and I put out, with the One Plus and this, and y'all could decide which photos y'all think is better. Now, I didn't do a side by side comparison because I don't do that. I normally don't do photo comparisons at all. Like, I really don't. That's my first time ever on this channel doing a photo comparison between two phones. So some people may be upset because I didn't do a side by side compare. Listen, I didn't take the same photos with both of those phones. As you can see, some are similar, but a lot of them are different. Because I shot the photos and videos on different days and in different places. Now, like I said, some of the photos are similar, but not all of them. And it's just something I thought about doing, to give people a chance to see what they thought about the photos on the One Plus 12 and the photos on the S23 Ultra, and see which ones they like better. But I didn't do a side by side compare. I didn't do that. So it is what it is. Some people gonna like it, some people not gonna like it. But for those that watched it and they thought it was helpful to them, and you gave me a thumbs up, thank you. I appreciate it. And I thank all those that viewed it. But the cameras on here are great. So at the end of the day, like I said, and I'll say it again, this is a top tier flagship device. I mean, it's quality all the way around. You got One UI, which is featured. It could be the most feature packed you OS on the market, One UI. Okay, now I got the added AI on here, which I have not even looked into yet because I don't really care. I mean, I guess I will at some point, but I don't really care about that. You know, I don't really need it. I just wish my always on display was the way it used to be. And I wish it had a headphone jack, expandable storage, IR blaster. I wish it had those things that it used to have. I miss those things. It'd have been nice if they had a pre-installed screen protector on here, put a charger in a box, put a case in the box, give us some accessories. That would have been nice. But other than all that, this is a top tier quality flagship device. No doubt about it. I highly recommend this device. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well. And I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.